Hey, it's the preacher, and I'm coming to you with something a little different this time. I like when I find an old tackle box, if it doesn't look like it's been picked over too hard, if it's still got a few lures left in it, and I can pick it up at a reasonable price, I try to do it. And that's just what I did. I like these Plano Magnum tackle boxes. This was the tackle box to have when I was, say, in my early teens. Matter of fact, I still have a couple of these, and they still work fine today. The problem is if you didn't latch them back down and you went to pick them up and you didn't have the top latch, they would come open. But once you know that you latch it back every time, these are great tackle boxes. And if you can find one, that's not faded out, not all busted up, they still work great, hold a lot of tackle, screws, bolts, nuts, tools, all kinds of things. So let's get right to it. I picked this tackle box up at a antique mall, if you will, it's like an antique mall. This was sitting in there. It was kind of out of place in the booth. They had $32 on it. They marked it down $10. So for $22, I got the tackle box and everything in it. Now I kind of looked at it just through the top and could see enough stuff in there to think, okay, I don't know the condition of all of it, but I'll probably at least break even. So what I want to do with you right now is I want to open it up and let's pull all this stuff out. And let's just see what all I got for $22. All right, I got some containers. I even got a little trash can that we can throw stuff in. We'll just kind of start sorting things out as trash or treasure. Eagle claw fish hooks. I don't know what size these are. It doesn't say. Paid 50 cents for them. They're kind of the trout size, like trout egg size. I don't see a size in there. They're not rusty. They're in good shape. I don't know, maybe like a number 7 or 8. I don't know. Good. Let's pitch them over there. Jig heads. Bunches and bunches and bunches of jig heads, not rusty. Hooks look good. Everything looks good. Nothing wrong with those. Those are usable. These are swivels. Not rusty. All look nice, new. These are good. I don't use a lot of these swivels, but sometimes I do. Usable. I think these are called like Hellbenders. I don't know, never used them. This is not a name brand. This looks like one of the knockoffs. We'll set it there for now. Oh, there's some leaders with hooks on them. Probably wouldn't use those old leaders. 39 cents. That'd probably cost you $2.39 today, but we can cut the hooks off. They're like new. Worm. Now that all looks a little crusty. Hang on, I know what I can do with these. I can melt the lead off of them. The lead don't go bad. Let me get a paper towel. That plastic worm was coming apart on me. Okay, here's a Zara Spook. That's still in great shape. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. $7 lure. Another stick bait. Nothing wrong with that. These grubs may be a little too far gone. Probably kind of feeling mushy. We'll chunk those. If it's something I don't use, yeah, you could probably still use these. I just don't use double-tailed grubs. Okay, this is like a 4-inch curly tail worm. Or 6-inch. There's only 4 in that color. We'll chunk those. Yeah, these worms are just falling apart. All of them are falling apart. Ooh. Too far gone. Too far gone. Oh, here's a little rattle trap. I think somebody tried to glue some glitter on it, but hey, I still catch fish on those. See what else we got. Oh, big spoon. This is a Mepps striper killer. It's a nice piece of a nice lure. Okay, this is also a spoon, a casting spoon. This is a Castmaster from Acme Tackle Company. Nothing wrong with it. Looks brand new. Another rattle trap. Rattling spot, actually. Nothing wrong with it. Keep it. Put this over here. Okay, that's a jointed minnow. A little faded, but nothing wrong with it. All right, there you go. Some Blakemore Roadrunner. The bucktail looks a little worn. Let's throw it in there. I never fished with these rooster tails this size much, but there's several of them in there. 3 of them. I think these are about $3 a piece these days. So there. That's a lead-headed jig, and I'll melt the lead off. Okay. I don't really know what you call these. They're kind of older. I mean, I wouldn't say they're antique. They're kind of a pre-runner to the... I'll give you a closer look at all this when we get done. That's what I didn't want to do, is get them stuck in a towel. Anyways, these are kind of older lures. We'll set those aside and look at those when we get it emptied out. Another falling apart worm, a bunch of dividers. 3 really old faded bobbers. I don't have any use for those, chunking those. All right, there's our haul on that side. I think the other side's a little better, just peeking in. All right, first thing I noticed is this spinnerbait rotted off. And there's dried spinnerbait skirt all in it, so we'll get that off there. But these can be reused. Slip a skirt on it, it's still good. Also a buzz bait, it's got a name on it. Nope, just a number. Patent number's all it's got on it, I don't know. Buzz bait's a buzz bait's a buzz bait. New skirt, and that would be ready to go. What else we got? Jigs and jig heads. All right, got some worm hooks. Tell you what, let's just take that out. I don't need a single worm hook. And some bullet weights, kind of oxidized. We'll just melt them. Okay, worms. Lots of just old, ugly worms. Nothing in there I want. An old bucktail jig. I'll melt that. Let's see what we got in here. Some paperwork for Rapala lures. This is a Rapala. This is a rather nice one. It has spinnerbait skirt stuck to it in a couple of places. That's probably half of what I paid for the tackle box. That's about a $12 6-inch Rapala floating minnow. And I do use these quite a bit certain times of the year, so I think all this spinnerbait skirt will brush off. It looks like it's flaking off, so there, we'll put that one right here. More junk. Here's another rattle trap. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. I don't know if it's ever been used. Let's set that one on there. More dividers. Some kind of coupon to learn how to fish. Here's the old devil's horse, and it's not in the best of shape. I used to fish with these a lot growing up as a kid, but it looks like the spinnerbait skirt kind of bubbled up the paint on it. We'll set it over here with the keepers for now. Let's see here. A frog. That worm hook looks nice and new. Throw it in there. Another jig head. A really faded out bomber crankbait. Looks like it don't even have matching hooks. Now that's something you'd want to throw in a brush pile, so if you lost it, you wouldn't care. What else we got? I think that's it, except for the sinkers. And man, there's a bunch of them. Split shot. Let's see if I can find something to get those out with. All right, let's see how we did. There's two ways to determine how you did. Number one, you got to assess a current value, which I'm going to write down what I think it's worth. And then number two, are you going to use it? Is this a lure that you, or a bait you would use for the type of fishing I do? This little hook here, this is a number 8. These are eagle claws. As you saw, they're like brand new. I would use these for catching bait, and I would use them for trout fishing. This guy paid 50 cents for them. These would cost you about $2 to $3 now. These here, I don't use these snell hooks with the leaders, and that leader's old. I mean, that was 39 cents at, let me show you where that was bought at, somewhere in California. That was 39 cents at Water Store in Porterville, California. I don't know how long ago that was, but that wouldn't be 39 cents today. Will I use these? Yeah, I'll cut the leaders off and use the hooks. And I would say if I bought those little octopus hooks now, you're probably looking at a couple bucks. So 3, 5. The jig heads, oh, absolutely. For throwing big curly tail grubs below the dam, doesn't get any better than that right there. And I do that a lot in the spring. So I got a couple dollars there. I don't really use swivels that much, but I do keep them around. So let's just say 3 is 6 plus 2. There's $8. So we'll write down $8. Now we've got the rooster tails. There is nothing wrong with these. They are name brand rooster tails. My wife fishes with those a lot. I would throw that. I probably don't fish with them all the time, but I do use the Roadrunners quite a bit. Not any that big, but I don't know what that's in there for. Anyways, so just figure $9, $10. If those rooster tails are $2.96 a piece, so now we got $10, and I do fish with those, so I'm gonna put them in here. These here need some work. I wouldn't really call this by the time you do the work on it. What does that say? Oh, it's a Strike King. Wow, name brand. Yeah, I still usable, but needs skirts. I don't throw big buzz baits like that very often. Anyways, there's that. Everybody wants to know how old the tackle box is. I have no idea, but there again, if you you look, it's Porter Store, and he paid $2.35, and that's a 124 piece set. So that's I don't know what that would cost you then, but that might give you some idea of age. And I don't know if Water Store is still there in Porterville, California. Somebody in Cali may know. The lead, just give you a look. I'll get that big bucktail out of the way. There's a couple ounces of lead in there. I'll turn that into jig heads for myself. I call that a wash. I wouldn't write that up as a gain. Here's where our money comes in. This big Rapala 6-inch Rapala minnow, maybe an 8-inch Rapala minnow. It's a 7-inch Rapala minnow. There's nothing wrong with that, and that thing right there sells for about $10 to $12 in my area. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. The hooks are all nice, shiny, and new. I'm gonna write down 12 bucks. Now let's just go around the horn here. This thing's kind of junky. So is this one. Let's give those a value of $1. Will I throw that? Yeah, but it'll be somewhere where I don't care if I lose it. Same with the Devil's Horse. It's looking kind of rough, but certain conditions down on the river wouldn't bother me to throw either one of those. So let's call that $2. These big spoons, I don't ever fish with these. So we'll just set that aside. Same with the Castmaster. I never fish with something like that either. So even though I got them and they probably have some value, I don't use them. The Rattle Trap, a Rattling Spot, I would say $2. Same with this one, $2. So that's $4. I don't really think that thing has any value, but I will fish with it. So we'll put that over there. Hang on, where are we at? 2, 4, 5. Yeah, let's just call that $5. I'm never going to use this big Hellbender, Mud Diver, whatever. I'm never going to use that. So let's just write that one off. The Zara Spook is about, I'm going to say $5 by itself. And then that leaves these lures. And I, honest to goodness, don't know what they are. It says Japan. I don't know. They look kind of vintage. I ain't going to fish with them. This one's much cooler just because it's jointed and it's got the big fin on the top. And I think it would clean up a little bit. But I'll probably hit those with a toothbrush and a little warm water. And then I'll just hang them up to look at. They're not in bad shape, but not something I'd fish with. Put those in priceless. So, of what I did get, not counting the stuff that I'm going to melt down or the junk I wouldn't fish with, I got 8, 18, 32, $42 worth of lures or baits or hooks, plus the tackle box. I think I did okay for minus $22. So what do we take away from this today? These old tackle boxes, if the tackle box is in good shape, consider that. I would probably give $5 for this old tackle box if it was empty and in good shape, and this one is in good shape. It's not faded out, it's not brittle, it's not missing stuff. The trays are not broken, everything's there. I'd easily at a yard sale give $5 for an empty tackle box. Then you throw in $42 worth of lures that I would use and a couple that I could hang up and tell the story of the time I bought the tackle box. And plus, it's a treasure hunt. You never know what you're going to find. So, what do you guys think? Do you guys buy old tackle boxes if you find them? Did I get ripped off? I don't think so, because I got a lot of stuff that I would normally use. And yeah, I'm never using this big goofy thing. I agreed. And yeah, I don't throw big spoons here or fish for stripers, but that ain't hurting nothing. I've got a whole box full of stuff I don't use, and maybe one of these days I'll go somewhere and use it. But these things, these rattle traps, the Zara Spooks, this big Rapala minnow, these are things I use regularly throughout each and every spring and summer. So I think I did okay. I think I got some stuff I can use. I think I got some things I can put directly into the tackle boxes I carry to the river and to the ponds. And I enjoyed the thrill of wondering what I got, the treasure hunt. Now I just need to sit here and process all this stuff. Some of it needs to go in the trash. Some of it needs to go in my tackle box. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys somewhere in the next video.